Welcome to Classic Value Investors and Microcap Explosions. This is Mariusz Konieczny. Today, in this video, I'm going to be talking about 10 better things to invest in other than Bitcoin if you are truly worried about hyperinflation or money losing value. Because I think that I'm sure many of you have heard arguments that you should be buying Bitcoin because the fiat money is going to become worthless. And I actually have some experience with hyperinflation and paper money losing value. I was born in Poland and I used to live in Poland. And as a kid, I experienced hyperinflation myself. And I remember my parents were making like 2,000 złote. Złote is the currency. 2,000 złote per month. And then only like a couple years later, they were making like 30 million złote per month. So I have some experience with it. And I'm here to provide some guidance. Again, if you are truly worried about inflation and money losing value, but I have a feeling that the people that are buying Bitcoin are just using this as an excuse to rationalize to themselves why they're buying Bitcoin and why others should be buying Bitcoin. So without any further delay, let's get on with it. Number 1, invest in yourself. What do I mean by this? Okay, so in Poland, before the hyperinflation, if you were a doctor or a dentist, and after a couple years, hyperinflation happened, what happened to your ability to make a living? Nothing. You just got paid in new currency. Okay, and actually what happened in Poland is that when everybody was making millions, they just issued new currency, they cut 4 zeros off, and there was a new currency. So if you were a doctor or a dentist, you simply demanded the payment for your services in a new currency. So before the hyperinflation, if it cost you, I don't know, let's say 1 hour of your labor to get a haircut, after that, it still cost you 1 hour of your labor to get a haircut. Okay? If you were a dentist, you were still needed. And the teeth didn't know that there was hyperinflation. The teeth still went bad and dentists were needed. So educate yourself. Develop a skill. Invest in yourself. It doesn't matter what happens to the currency. If you are valuable to the world and to the community, you will be valuable after the fiat currencies are gone. Number 2, buy yourself a house. I remember as a little kid, we had a house and it, cost, I don't know, thousands of złote before the hyperinflation, and after hyperinflation, it cost 1 billion złote or whatever. I don't even remember the exact numbers. But the house itself maintained its purchasing power, okay? Because it represented the work and the labor of people putting it together. Buy yourself a house. You can even put debt on it, because then if fiat money loses money, you're still going to pay the same debt that you took on before the hyperinflation happened. So you will actually gain purchasing power doing it like this. Number 3, you can buy yourself a condo if you don't like a house. I'm thinking like, let's say, big cities like Los Angeles or New York or Chicago, there's beautiful condos. If you buy a condo in a place like this, or even less known cities, it's just the same as with the house. If fiat money loses value, whatever you bought with the money will maintain the value. Number 4, buy yourself a business. Start a business. For example, when I was a little kid, we had this grocery store that we would shop. The grocery store was around before and after the hyperinflation. The only thing that changed is the bread cost more in a new currency. But everything was the same, it's just adjusted. And why did the value of the grocery store kept the same? Because the grocery store was needed. It was needed before the hyperinflation and after hyperinflation. The grocery store provided real value and real service to the people. And that's why it kept being used. Last year I went to visit Poland and the store was still there. The same store after 40 years or whatever. It's still there serving the same community. The layout was a little different, but they were still selling groceries and pop and all sorts of things that grocery stores sell. Number 5, if you don't like to operate a business, you can buy stocks. Remember, stocks are not just some pieces of paper. Stocks represent ownership interests in businesses. When you buy and transact with a business, if you go and you buy yourself, a car, okay, from a car manufacturing business, how are you paying for that car? Oh, I pay for it with a credit card. No, you don't. You pay for it with your labor. You pay for it with years from your life. That's how you pay for it. How the transaction happens, through what kind of medium, it doesn't matter. If the currencies go to shit, the businesses are going to reprice it in whatever to take the hours from your life, because that is valuable. You give up something of value to get something else of value. It doesn't matter what currency is used and how the transaction is being operated. So you can buy yourself stocks of businesses that are valuable to society. They provide real products and services. And as long as they continue being useful to society, they're going to be repriced no matter what happens to fiat money. Number 6, you can buy land. Land has value because you can build something on the land. You can build golf courses, you can build apartment buildings, you can build residential housing. It has value. You can buy yourself land, but you don't have to just buy land for real estate development. You can buy specific land that has something valuable in it. For example, we are all talking about green energy and electrification. You can buy yourself land that contains copper deposit or iron ore or whatever material that is going to be needed by society to deliver products and services, right? There's going to be no electrification and electric cars without the batteries or battery metals like copper. So buy yourself something of value, and land can be valuable. Number 7, buy yourself an apartment building. Okay? People have to live somewhere. Okay? As an owner of an apartment building, you're providing a service to people that don't have houses, that they have to pay you a monthly rent to live somewhere. I never heard of outsourcing living somewhere else. I never heard of outsourcing living on the internet or blockchain, right? Apartments are needed now. They're going to be needed in the future. They're going to be needed in 20 years from now. So it doesn't really matter if the purchasing power of fiat money goes down. It's okay. People are going to figure out, you're going to reprice your rents in new money or whatever to extract value from your tenants for providing the service that you provide. And as a result of this, the value of your apartment building will maintain its value. Number 8, buy yourself a mobile home park. Why am I talking about mobile home park? Remember in point number 1 how I was talking about invest in yourself, develop a skill? Because when you invest in yourself and you have a skill that's needed, you have the pricing, you can have a pricing power. Especially if, let's say, you're in a career where the supply of professionals in your career is limited, then you can raise prices. However, if you don't have any skills and you are a low-wage worker, then during inflationary times, your hour of work will very likely buy you less after inflation. So for example, if before the hyperinflation, it cost 1 hour of your life to get a haircut, after hyperinflation, you might have to spend 2 or 3 hours of your life to get the same haircut, because you don't have the pricing power for your labor. And as a result of this, if we go through hyperinflation, the people on the bottom are not going to be able to afford homes. They might not even be able to afford apartments. So they're going to have to move down and live in mobile homes. And now, as a mobile home park owner, you don't own the mobile homes. You own the land. And people that live in those mobile homes, they own those mobile homes and they pay you lot rent. And just because those mobile homes are called mobile homes doesn't mean they're mobile. It costs anywhere between $3,000 to $5,000 to move a home from one location to another. So in other words, these people don't have the money to move the home. So once they become your tenants, they become your tenants for life, providing you with a very steady income stream, which is much better than owning apartments or even office buildings or retail. You have a tenant for life and the turnover is very low. Number 9, gold. Yes, you can buy gold. And you know what? You'd be surprised. Gold is not actually my favorite thing, because gold really doesn't do anything, right? It doesn't produce revenue. However, gold has been tested over 5,000 years. It used to be money. And in my experience, when we went through hyperinflation in Poland, guess what? Gold maintained its purchasing power. And if the fiat money becomes worthless, I have no doubt that gold will retain its purchasing power. Number 10, that's probably the best one. You can invest in poop coin. What is poop coin? You see this picture over here? That's the shit that I took before making this video, and I'm launching it as a poop coin. Okay? Now, there's going to be a limited supply of poop coin, because I think if I live for another 60 years, let me do the math. Let's say if I live for 60 years, okay? 60 years times 365 days, that's about 22,000 days. So if I shit one time per day, I'm gonna produce 22,000 poop coins over my lifetime. That's much better than 21 million Bitcoins. So I'm gonna let you in on the ground floor, okay? Today is the first one, okay? Now, what you can do with the poop coin is you can transfer it. It could be used as a payment system. You can take my shit and you can give it to your mom, to your brother, to your neighbor, and the government will not know that the transaction has happened. And we can, because we're gonna put the poop coin on blockchain, which is gonna be public, we're going to report all the transactions for everybody to see. And remember, there's a limited supply, only 22,000 poop coins. And in addition to a peer-to-peer payment system, poop coin will also be used as a store of value. So if you want to put your life savings into poop coin, you are more than happy to do so. And if you do the math, and if you take all the people in the world that are worried about fiat money losing purchasing power, and we only get like 1% of their savings into poop coin, I mean, the value of each poop coin is going to be much higher than you can get on Bitcoin, because again, the supply is only 22,000 poop coins. And now you can also buy part of the poop coin because it's divisible. So you can buy half of it, quarter of it, or whatever. I mean, you might not, after we get this into the mainstream media, the price might be too high. You might not be able to afford one poop coin, but you might be able to afford a 1% of poop coin. And I promise you that I will not increase the number of poop coins beyond 22,000 poop coins because the supply is limited by my assets' ability to shit. In conclusion, these were the 10 better things to do with your money if you are truly, truly worried about fiat money losing purchasing power. And now the message to you that I have is your money right now has purchasing power. So you can take that money that you are so worried about losing purchasing value and turn it into something valuable. Okay? Whether it's buying a house or buying a business or buying a mobile home park, you turn it into something valuable. By buying Bitcoin, what you are doing is you are taking something that has value right now and you're turning it into something that has no value. It's absolutely worthless. I don't care how many of you guys tell me that Bitcoin has value. It is absolutely worthless. It is not used for anything. It is not used as a payment system, okay? It is not used as a store of value. The only thing that it's being used for, I'll tell you what it's being used for. It is used by criminals that want to launder money, and it is used by money managers that don't have a fucking clue how to invest, and they need returns, so they buy Bitcoin, okay? Now, I cannot believe that so many of you are buying this, and you have media behind you that is making it okay. So they all convinced you to take something valuable and turn it into absolute horseshit, and you guys believe in it. And I have 5 friends that I talk to about Bitcoin, and 4 of them already invested in it, and 1 thinks it's a great idea. So obviously the hype around Bitcoin is obviously working because they need more people to come into this craziness in order for the price of Bitcoin to keep going up. They need more people coming in order for that to keep happening. And now those people that talk about how Bitcoin is the great investment, they are using all kinds of reasons to convince you to buy it. And the best part is that they themselves don't even understand 100% how this works. And that's when it's the best. Because if you actually understood how this thing worked, you could actually think with your head. But if you don't understand it, you can have a big imagination on how it works. So this is it for this video. I'm sure you guys have lots of comments. So you can leave a comment below and tell me how stupid and uneducated I am about Bitcoin and what it is that I'm missing. Thanks for watching.